Hi, my name's Chris and you're watching Font of Inspiration. Today we'll be talking about 3 different ways to track combat in your Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition games. Now obviously you can use these tools with any RPG system you wish, but for simplicity's sake we'll be using D&D today. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. First up we have the trusty 5th edition Monster Manual. Now so many people own this $50 book but rarely crack it open. Using it exclusively for encounter prep is fine, but why wouldn't you use it at the table if you have it? If you don't want to flip through the book during a game, a good option is to take some pictures of the stat blocks. That way you can access them on your phone or tablet, or you can print all the stat blocks you'll need in a session on one sheet. Barker from Be a Better Game Master has an excellent video on this that you might want to check out. Now obviously you could scan the book, but it's going to be a bit tougher on the binding and the spine, so taking pictures is just better all around for the book. Next up we have encounter cards. Now I made these in Photoshop, but you can just whip up something in Word using tables if graphics aren't your thing. Basically these are just stat block templates that you can fill with just the information you need. Another basic form of encounter cards would be just to use index cards. And speaking of index cards, I highly recommend that you check out Mike Shea's and A Fistful of Dice's videos on using index cards in your games. Honestly, their videos on using index cards have been the biggest influences on me as a DM. I'll include the links to their videos in the description so you can view their inspirational stuff ASAP. Anyway, these cards have 4 red brand ruffians from the Lost Mine of Phandelver on them, as an example encounter. Now since they're all copies of the same creature, you can jot down the ability scores in one area, while you can list things like individual hit points for each creature, like here. If you'd like to try something like this, you can get these fillable templates from my blog. I'll put the link in the description. I also made a variation on the encounter cards resembling the stat blocks in the Monster Manual. Now personally, I'm a pretty visual person. So making the encounter cards look like the stat blocks in the Monster Manual makes sense because I'm familiar with the layout in the book, and using that layout means that I can find everything quickly. Finally, we have mobile devices. Now before I used the encounter cards, but now that I found this app called Game Master 5, it's all I've been using lately. You can save your own monsters, items, characters, notes, treasure, spells in this compendium section, while the encounters database lets you save a whole bunch of encounters that you can just pull up and use in your campaigns at any time. Speaking of campaigns, the central section of the app houses your campaigns. I'll just pull up my homebrew campaign here real quick. In campaign mode you can add notes, encounters, characters, treasure, all kinds of stuff. You can make a personalized DM screen with information that you find useful. There's also a dice roller over here that works like a calculator, so you can easily add or subtract hit points from the monsters or the PCs. I just added a tavern brawl as an example encounter, and here you can see that I've added a single PC opposing 2 thugs. And you'll notice that everything I need to run this combat is on one page. I've got the notes I need for the encounter, the combat information, and the stat block. Really simple, really handy. Now I don't want to be that chill type of guy, but you can get this free from the App Store if you don't mind a few ads. If you don't like ads, you can pay something like $3 for it. Not bad. Okay, so now we've gone over just a few ways to track combat in D&D. Next I'd like to throw it over to you guys in the community. What do you use in your games? First of all, do you start with theater of the mind or gridded combat? Do you prefer pen and paper or an electronic device? Whatever your preference, let me know in the comments below or in a video response. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.